take it out of this thing. Oh, it says I'm live. Bro, stop it. Hold on, let me find these peeps. I got people. Well, I don't have people. I did have people, and then I left them. Alright, so let's try this again. There. Hello. Hi. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Hi, lovely peepsy doodles. It just, like, I don't understand. It just said, it kept saying processing, and I could see you guys leaving comments, but it wasn't, I don't know, it was weird. But hi, hello. Who's all here? Mystic? And, oh, I cannot pronounce your name. It's Kvothed. And I'm sorry, but hi, and Zoe. And Mystic, this is my first time watching you. Well, welcome. Fading Ember, Alice is here, and Luna, and David, and Missy, M-S-Y. Maybe it stands for something. I'm going to call you Missy, unless you tell me otherwise. Katie Rose, Hex Maniac, Actually TL. Hi, everyone. Hi. Welcome, welcome. It's going to be fun tonight. Tonight we are discussing ghosts and spirits, and I'm obviously going to, hi Luna and Lee and Kelly. I'm going to wait a little bit to let people come in, as I do every time. I normally wait till about 8:10 to get started, just to let people get oriented. Hey girl, hey Debbie. She said, hey, yeah. And wait, Slaley. Maybe? Miriam, and Aggie, and Alicia, and JD. OMG, I'm here! Hi! Well, hi! And hello from Florida, Alicia. So I'm just gonna, while we're waiting, Kevin and I went to the Avenged Sevenfold, Volbeat, and Metallica concert. It's the Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Is it just the Hardwired concert? There's a name for it. I'm bad. Something. I don't remember what it is. But we went to that concert yesterday. It was badass. And on our way home today, hi everyone. So it was fucking awesome. And so on our way home today, I was looking up to see if there was any metaphysical shops in the area, and there was one like literally 2 miles from our hotel. So we stopped and I got some things, so I'm going to show you guys while we're waiting. I'm going to do like a little mini witchy haul. I didn't get like a ton, but we have some time to kill. So jealous. I love Avenged Sevenfold. They were awesome. And the thing that bugged me is I went to go see, because it's a Metallica concert, but I was really excited about Avenged Sevenfold because I'm an Avenged Sevenfold lover, and Kevin's a huge Metallica fan, and Kevin likes Volbeat, and he has gotten me to rather enjoy Volbeat, so it was fun all around. And when we went, Avenged Sevenfold was supposed to play longer than what they did, but the weather made them cut their set short, and then it never ended up raining, so I was kind of pissed. But no, they were great. They were great. So anyway, here's some stuff. Well, first of all, this isn't from the Witchy store, but this is the book that I just got in the mail that I ordered. Tarot Wisdom, Spiritual Teachings and Deeper Meanings. I know you guys saw that I've kind of been delving back into tarot, so look at how fucking thick this book is. Stop it! So I'm excited for this one. So of course they had this is the first time we've ever been to this store. So of course I got my favorite sandalwood essential essences because I was almost out. Super excited. I want that book. Actually, it wasn't that bad. It's normally $26.99, and I found it on Amazon for $17 with Prime. And I had some coupons, so I only got it for $9. But still. Okay, so Dragon's Blood because I use it for my new favorite incense. So I had to get a little restock. So we found this journal. Kevin found these journals, and I wasn't gonna pick any up. And then he found this one. It has Pyperh on it. Look. It's got the moon. It's got my kitty. So it's got the triquetra on the side, and it is beautiful. So I had to have it. So now I have a new journal, and I think I'm going to write my tarot. I have a book for my tarot spreads, but I think I'm going to write like the tarot notes in this one. So I got that. And then I found this book that called to me, and I, for some reason, had to have it. The Awakened Psychic by Kala Ambrose. So I'm kind of excited about that one. And I got, has anybody ever, this is Jet. Has anybody ever felt Jet? It is super light. And it's really weird how light it is, but it's a very grounding stone. So like as you hold it, it almost gets heavier. But originally when I did my tarot card dedication ceremony, my Ghosts and Spirits, my Ghosts and Spirits deck wanted a jet stone, and I didn't have any, so it was like, okay, fine, well then I'll take quartz. So I have clear quartz on it, but I went and searched for a jet piece, and I found one. So this is for my Ghosts and Spirits deck. Jet is petrified wood. Are you well, now I feel dumb. I actually didn't know that. I did not know that jet was petrified wood. You learn something new every day. That's actually really cool. Thank you for that information. I really didn't. So is it like, this is probably dumb. Is it like from a specific tree that it's black? Like, because I've seen petrified wood. So now I'm curious. I'm going to have to do some research. I just know that my deck wanted jet, and I don't have any jet, and now I do. So, alright, what do we got? It is 8:10. It is 8:10, my lovelies. How in the hell is everyone doing since our last Witchy Wisdom video? My hubby left. I wonder where he went. Lisa's Facebook page and online store where she sells those journals, potion bottles, figures. The best place to get a tarot deck, and how do you know how to choose the right one? Tarot is like a total different video. We could go on and on and on, and I am just getting back into tarot. So Alora, Rain, and Avalon, they are great people to go to for tarot questions. And the easiest thing is to just go with your intuition. I'm good. How are you? I'm great. I'm doing great. Kevin, jet is petrified wood. Oh. Somebody just told me that, and I didn't know that, and that's why it's so light, is it's petrified wood. Don't lay right here. I don't know how the cat's got in here, but don't lay on that. The cat's puked. This is my first time seeing you live. My friend introduced me to your videos, and I love it. It's awesome seeing your videos put me in such a witchy... Yay! I just had surgery, and I'm stuck in bed. Zoe, my brother, just had surgery too. So I don't feel you, but he feels you. It must be that time of year for surgery. But yeah, so just... And you're the friend. Well, thank you for introducing her to my bids. Alright, so we are... Halloween is coming early today because we are discussing ghosts and spirits. I can't really say we're discussing the paranormal because the paranormal covers way too many things to be gone over, but we are discussing some good shit. So, ghosts, spirits, what have you, are like They are my love. Kevin and I have been on a couple paranormal investigations. We've done a ton of research. We've had a bunch of late night conversations. Like, we're right up my alley. Actually, let me show you guys. My first ever ghost book that I got was in the 4th grade. Through like one of those, what are those things called? Those the Scholastic book fairs. And this is what it was, and I still have it. Infomania Ghosts. Now, if you read this, it's all bullshit. Like, it's kind of funny, but you went to Waverly, didn't you? I did. We did go to Waverly, and I can't wait to discuss that with you guys a little bit later. But on the way home, Kevin and I was trying to talk to him, like, I don't know where the fuck to take this video tonight, because this could go so many different directions. So I did pretty much what I've been doing this whole time, and I didn't really put together an agenda, because it could really go, depending on where the conversation leads, to so many different things. Now, I also want you guys to understand something very important. I am not an expert in the field of ghosts. I am a ghosts enthusiast. I've done a ton of research. I have my notes. I have things that I've seen, things that I've witnessed and experienced when we were at Waverly and other places. Just from what I've grown up with and what I've read and kind of what stuck and what hasn't stuck. But understand that I am not the one-all be-all when it comes to ghosts. And even reading through my notes, things change all the time. As you discuss more, as you experience more, as you learn more, things change. So, I may be discussing something and somebody may say something about what they believe, and it may get our wheels turning, and, it's very, because there isn't any concrete, like, hard fact on what a ghost is, and where they come from, and why they're here, and how to communicate with them, and if you should communicate with them, and who they actually are. So we just kind of have to roll with it. I totally forgot that I wanted to watch myself on my computer so that I could read your guys' comments, because it's way too hard. How do I see my live video? Ya dick. Well, this is some Bologna. You guys can all see me, right? Here we go. Alright. Perfect. I just want to view. Okay. I've always been drawn to ghosts ever since I was little. Ghosts and psychic stuff. Oh, yes. I feel like that's almost a requirement for for our field. I've been a couple times, places here in California like Alcatraz and the Winchester Mystery House. Shut up. Those are like my would love to go to destinations. I love chatting with people about ghosts and spirits and their experiences. It's great to have a discussion and hear other people's thoughts. So, having said that, having Zoe have said that, understand that we are not going to be bashing other people's opinions. If we're going to be talking about it, we're going to have a very civilized conversation, and understand that there is no one answer yet to any of this. So everybody here is entitled to their opinions. Even if somebody comes on and says, yeah, you're full of shit, ghosts don't exist, I will probably ignore you, but you are entitled to your opinion. So, Jerry, could it be dangerous to talk to a spirit? It can be, depending on who's there and depending on who you're talking to and depending on what they want, which is why ghosts can be sketchy, because you don't know who's there. You have no idea who you're talking to. Having had experienced ghosts in Culross place, I got a massive fright after doing a spirit talk board with the 3 a.m. We found out he just wanted to scare the ladies. I've seen spirits Everybody has different views. It's important to keep an open mind. Yes. Is it just me, or does the sound seem too quiet? Is it quiet? Am I way too quiet? Everyone? I used to see spirits when I was younger, and now I don't. That's actually very common. Kids are very, very open to the spirit world, and as we grow up, and depending on how you were taught and how your parents perceived it, and how kind of, a lot of times you close that part of your mind down. I heard that if you hear your name being called that you shouldn't answer. You sound fine. My audio is really good, but it's a little muted. I feel that many spirits want respect and will leave people as in respect. Okay, so how about we start here? Because like I said, we could go in 1,000 different directions. So how about I just start with what I have in my book for my and Kevin's opinion on some terminology, and we will kind of go from there. Because I think that we could literally go in a whole bunch of different places. So we'll start with some terminology, and we'll go through each one and kind of see what people have to say about each one, and then we'll move on to experiences or whatever we want to move on to from there. So here we go. So I've got my little book of my notes. There was one night Kevin and I literally stayed up till like 3 a.m. just like talking, and we had just got home from Waverly, so it was like nuts. People say dogs can see spirits. Is this true? Yes. Animals are very attuned to the spirit world, and while we can't really tell if they can actually see them, they can definitely sense the energy of spirits. How do you protect yourself from negative spirits? We'll get into that later. A little bit later. Just remind me later. Okay, so we'll get into this because I have like 1,000 people asking questions, and we could just go on tangents. So we're going to start here. Okay, so terms. So paranormal. Anything classified as unexplained by science. Hauntings, aliens, UFOs, Bigfoots, good lord, and other creatures and phenomena like the chupacabra, the Jersey Devil, like all these crazy things. Anything like that that is yet to be unexplained by science is coined as paranormal. So then you kind of start breaking it down. So you have hauntings, a place showing proof of spiritual or ghostly phenomena, apparitions, EVPs, poltergeist activity, possessions, intelligent or residual spirits, etc. So a haunting can be as simple as, there's a spirit in my house and they make noises, or people in the comments are saying that I hear my name being called, and it may not necessarily, normally with a haunting, something is dwelling there. There's a lot of times that spirits can be passing through, and so, or it may be a night like Samhain where the veils are thin, so you may have a little bit more spirit activity, and then the night passes and your house goes back to normal. So so just because you hear something in your house, I guess let me rephrase like what I said earlier. Because you hear something in your house doesn't necessarily mean it's haunted. It is an entity of some form has taken up residence in a place and isn't leaving. Then you have a haunting. There's like 1,000 people talking, and I love you all dearly, but I can't get to them all because I know people are excited and they really want to share their stories, but I gotta have like some kind of structure. So I'm gonna do this, and later on when we talk about experiences, we can all share experiences. But if I go through and read all of your comments right now, I literally am never gonna get through anything. Oh, no, Debbie, I'm not talking about you, girl. You're fine. You're good. I'm just reading, like, I feel bad. I'm telling you, I feel bad that I'm looking at the comments and they're just, like, scrolling. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be a dick and not read your comments, love muffins. Just know that I'm kind of going through this. And then later on when I'm like, hey, what's going on? Then, I mean, if you guys are talking to each other, go for it. But just know if I'm not, like, whew, it's because we'll never get anywhere. Because there's so much that could go. So much. So, this book, does the book mention anything about spirits following a person but not possessing them? So this book is just my own notes. It's not like an actual ghost book. But yes, a spirit can follow a person and not possess them, especially if it's somebody, like the spirit may be attached to someone, whether it's because they're drawing their energy, because spirits need energy to basically continue on this plane, which I'll get into, but they may attach themselves to somebody either to draw energy from them, or they're somebody that they cared for deeply in life, and so they don't want to move on yet, so they attach themselves to someone, or and kids is a sticky subject, but if you have a child spirit and they are stuck in a home and a family moves in, and they may attach themselves to someone that resembles a parental figure. So, and then of course you can have negative attachments that are trying to get to possession, but there are reasons for ghosts to attach themselves to you that doesn't have to do with possession. So, haunting. So now we're getting into ghosts and spirits. There is a difference between the word ghost and spirit. Kind of. And it's kind of similar to like paganism and Wicca. People have a really hard time with paganism and Wicca. Like basically paganism is the umbrella term, the big blanket term to cover everything. And Wicca is a very specific term within a bunch of terms under the umbrella. So a ghost is a very blanket term. It's basically a catch-all used to explain the entity performing a haunting. So it could be a spirit, a demon, a guardian, an intelligent spirit, a residual spirit, basically whatever is haunting a home or a place or a plot of land. A blanket term for that entity would be a ghost. But then you have the different breakdown of what that ghost could be, which is what I will get into. Possessions can be haunted by the previous owner. I believe that and have experienced that for sure. I feel that ghosts just go through the motions while spirits still retain that sentience to make a decision and move on to different planes. And that's cool. That's totally cool. For me personally, a ghost is a blanket term, whereas a spirit is the human, intelligent, let me rephrase. A ghost is the blanket term, whereas a spirit the other terms underneath ghosts kind of explain more of whether or not they can make that decision to move on, because some of them are human, but some of them are inhuman. So let's move on to a spirit. So a spirit, so you have ghost, you have your blanket term for what I think. This is all what I think. Please know that this book is my notes. So we're having a conversation about what I'm thinking on my end, and please feel free to comment, okay? I feel it as a ghost is from a human and a spirit is a blanket term, but that's just me. And my husband had mentioned that earlier, but that he thinks that spirit is the blanket term and ghost is specific. So a lot of people have different feelings about that. For me, I feel like we call our spirits a spirit, like the human spirit, the spirit. Like, I just feel like specific, or spirit is a very specific term to me. But you know, people, you look it up and like people think that ghosts and spirits are the same thing. People have it the other way around. So like, whatever floats your boat is awesome. So the more specific form, for me it's spirit, for you it may be ghost, but for me, a spirit is the energetic imprint left behind by a human that remains on this plane. This entity has been alive. They may be benevolent, malicious, playful, mischievous, blah, blah, blah. But basically, for the next witchy wisdom, how about setting up your TV and laptop with an HDMI cord behind you so we can see the comments you're responding to after the live chat? I might have to look that up, because that might be interesting. I might have to think about that. So, with this, you have a human remain. So you have a human that passed, that died. Their essence, their soul, people call it different things, their soul, their spirit, their essence, remain. If they remain as opposed to moving on, which there are multiple different reasons that a spirit can remain on this plane, but if they remain here, then that can trigger a haunting. So there are, like I said, multiple reasons why a spirit may remain. They may have unfinished business. If you believe in reincarnation, which I do, I believe that every time a person is, or a soul, or a spirit is reborn, it is put here to do a task. So once that task is completed, if the person passes, then that spirit is reborn. It's sent back up to the Summerlands to review life, to learn what it needed to learn, and then to be reborn again. Now, if the life is taken before the spirit human has the opportunity to learn the lesson it is that they were left here to learn, then that spirit can remain stuck because they haven't learned what it is that they need to know yet. So they're having issues passing on, and they're not exactly sure why, because they don't know what they're left here for. And I think that you know, you have this conscious whole that once they're taken back up into the Summerlands, for lack of a better term, once they're taken back up to the Summerlands, you know, it's taken back into a whole, and like all of their past lives, everything is this just conscious whole. And so they remember their past, they remember why they were here, they're able to kind of look at everything and look at life and review what they were doing and what they, sorry, my mom just texted me and called me a slut, and to review what they learned in this life. Now, when they're here on the physical earthly plane and have yet to move on, they retain only what they have learned here. So when they pass, they stay at that age, they stay with those memories, and they're basically, they have that same personality of the human form that passed, if that makes sense. So, do you believe that a spirit can be in different places on the earthly plane simultaneously? I don't. I think that if it is a human spirit, now inhuman is different, but if it is a human spirit, I do not believe that that spirit can be in multiple places at the same time. I'm not saying that that spirit can't travel, but I don't think, me personally, I don't think they can be in two places at the same time. I believe in reincarnation, but I never thought of that way. Very interesting. It is. It's super interesting to just like talk about and get out there, and a past life topic would be awesome. It would be awesome. Like I said, I don't have a ton of info about past lives, but it'd be great to have a conversation about it. I also think some don't move on because they aren't willing to leave loved ones behind. Yes. That moves on to another one. So they haven't learned it yet. They have that they don't want to leave loved ones. So like Kevin brought this up earlier. He was like, okay, so if I'm old and I pass and I think I'm leaving my wife, but we've done everything we needed to do. We raised a family. We have beautiful children. We did this. I feel good, moving on. I feel like we did what we needed to do in life, and he moves on. Now, knock on wood, heaven forbid, he said, if I were to pass early and we didn't get to do everything we wanted to do and it was very sudden, he's like, I would have a really hard time leaving you. I would have a hard time. So that's when you have an attachment issue, is if a loved one passes and they aren't ready to leave their loved ones behind. So they can also be stuck for that reason. They can also be stuck if they just don't know, either they don't know they've passed or they don't know why they're stuck. Like they may just be here and they don't know why. I feel like a spirit can go wherever they want to go in order to see what they need to see. Yeah. I think they can. I mean, a body is not holding them down. So I think so too. I think that they can be wherever they need to be. I just, for some reason, I can't see how, for me, I just have a hard time with them being in two places at once. It would be like them splitting themselves and being in two places. And so that doesn't resonate with me, but it might resonate with you. So essentially the spirit is just like your spirit body or astral body that isn't limited to physical limitations. Yes. Yes, a spirit is the essence of you on this plane. So once you pass, if your spirit's stuck here, it retains your memories, it retains your personality, it retains your age, it retains all that. And so that's why, have you ever been haunted by either a negative ghost or spirit, or just been haunted? Sorry, I was just reading some comments. I don't want to say that I was haunted. We had a spirit that followed us home from Waverly, but I haven't had anything here. At least I believed that she followed us home, because when we came home from Waverly, we didn't have any issues before, and when we came home, then the spirit activity kicked up. So I don't know if it was the compassion that we showed and she felt like she needed to come home with us and did, or if it was a child or what it was, but I feel like it was. Tragedies come to mind that can leave them stuck, but not always. Absolutely, especially with tragedies, a lot of times you're leaving a lot of unfinished business behind when there is a tragedy, because it's so sudden. Or just the energetic impact of a tragedy in general can leave them stuck. I've heard of soul fragments being left behind when something traumatic happens and a spirit moves on, but a piece of the spirit stays behind. I have heard of that also. So I'm going to move on a couple of these people. I know people really want to hear, everybody wants to hear everybody's super awesome stories, because that's why we're here. We want to hear everybody's ghost stories. But I have a few more things, and then, because these kind of get interesting, and these can cause a lot of controversy, because we're going to get into demons and guardians and elementals, and people really have a hard time with the terminology of a demon, because I think it has a lot of religious connotations behind it. I'm just reading the comments. So, why are spirits often said to be attached to one place? Do they stay there by choice, or are they held there? Like if a spirit is stuck at their place of death, or at a grave. A lot of times, if a spirit is stuck somewhere, they're normally at a place that has some kind of energetic, emotional significance to them, whether it be a place of safety, a place of tragedy, a place where their loved one was, a place where they grew up. You know, it can be both. They can either go somewhere for safety because that's where they were, you know, they realize there's something here that I haven't learned yet, I don't know what it is, I'm going to go to where I know. Or it may be a place of tragedy and the energetic bubble of that tragedy has them stuck in that spot because nobody wants to relive a horrific car crash over and over and over. But the energetic imprint of that, and sometimes it's an imprint. Sometimes it's not an actual spirit that is stuck. Sometimes you had a very emotional event in which it's kind of like a recorder, like a time records that piece of the event, of that emotional, tragic event, and it replays. And it's not that the spirits are stuck. It's literally that it's just such an emotional event that has caused a ripple in that space, and so it will replay. And so that's not an intelligent haunting. That is a residual haunting, which may be footsteps. Like you hear footsteps like the same time every day or the same time every couple weeks. That's more of a residual haunting of, you know, spirit noise. Yeah, like Katie said, like a time stamp. Sorry, I'm missing like a ton of comments, and I know that. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on demons. I've always linked it to a Judeo-Christian practice and never researched them more in depth. Have you ever been touched by a spirit? I haven't. It freaked me out. I was very young, early 20s. I don't think I've ever been actually touched, I'd have to say. Okay. So, demons. Hard terminology. And I don't even really like to use the word demon, but there's really, it's tough to really give it a different term. Now, demons are normally attached to Christian belief system of the pawns of Satan. They come from hell, they come from the underworld, and they are Satan's bitches that come up here to do dirty deeds, basically. So in my book, I will read what I have and then I will elaborate. I have a demon, not referring to any religious entity, as in the devil. A demon is a malicious being wishing to cause torment and harm upon the living. These beings were not human, nor have they ever been alive. They may also be a collection of negative energy consciousness formed over time. So, demons are tough because demons are, and Kevin and I kind of had a really long talk about demons. On the way home. So you have like the way that I've talked about demons, and I've talked about demons in the past, are that they're basically an energetic, emotional collection of shit. They're a shit storm. So you had a tragic, horrific event where something something horrific has happened. Where does that energy go? Where does that emotion go? Well, it forms a blob, for a lack of a better term. It forms a, help me here.
A negative.
It's basically
vortex.
a negative vortex, for lack of a better term. And it just kind of, and Kevin described this really well earlier, it's kind of like a dust storm. So you have a dust storm of negative shit. And so that dust storm comes and it blows through and it hits whoever's in their path. So have you ever noticed that you walk into a place that has had a terrible event or a terrible past, and you can just feel it? It's thick, it's heavy, it's dank, your emotions can even change. Even if you're not a sensitive person, you can get angry, you can get upset, you can get, some people even turn violent, you can be sad. So these start to affect you. Okay? So originally, that is what I coined as a demon. But now, things change. So that I coin as a negative entity, because that negative entity can stay just there because it's just a huge bubble. And if it continues to feed, you know, let's say I come up and I push you and I'm like, hey bitch, and I push you and you're pissed and you push me back. Well, I'm putting my negative shit on you and you're going to give it back to me. So I'm going to still be feeding off of you. So this entity chills here and it feeds, you know, people walk into it, they get nasty, they get angry, they throw off whatever emotions it is that this entity makes them have, and then it just feeds back into it and it just keeps feeding it. Okay? Negative entity. A dust cloud of shit. So then you have some kind of tragic event, a lot of times caused from the anger and the turmoil brought in from this entity that's hanging out in a location, that's just like draped over a home, that's draped over a plot of land. So you have, Kevin made a good example, or you have the Amityville Horror. Something may have happened years before, because I think the Amityville Horror, they had said, was built on an Indian burial ground. Don't quote me, because a lot of people don't even believe that the Amityville Horror was true. But, so let's say that that's true. You built over Indian burial ground, you have some shit that went down when the Native Americans were still there. It creates this negative entity dust cloud. So then you build a house on it. Perfect. Let's piss it off some more. And then it continues with families to just eat away and feed on these families and keep getting bigger and bigger. So then you have the DeFeos, which move in. He says he has voices in his head. He says he has all this shit that's happening. He goes, kills his whole family members, and kills himself. So now you have this man that is deranged, now he's dead. So his spirit is still there. So then his spirit begins to feed off of this negative energy dust cloud, and it basically overtakes him. That is when you have a demon. So it does begin as a human spirit, but it feeds off of this dust cloud that has this energetic vortex of God knows what that has been there for years and years and years, and it just kept building and building. And then you have the right person that dies, a lot of times in a tragic way, and he was a right out horrific person in life, retains that personality in death and feeds off of this. So now you have a demon, because now this demon, all he wants to do is, he is basically a demon full of anger and hate and sorrow and all of these horrible emotions. And so what does he want to do? He needs to feed on the living. So he needs to, fear is a big one. Spirits need that high emotion. They need that energy to feed off of. So what do? You can either cause love, because love and happiness are huge emotions, or fear. Well, what is easier for a ghost to do is to scare you, because when you're scared, you give off very, very high emotions, and that's high energy for spirits to be able to feed off of. So that's why ghosts will scare you. So then they will either scare you to feed off of you, or they will attach themselves to you, try to get close to you, hence child spirits, which is why I have a really hard time with child spirits, because a lot of time negative spirits or demons will disguise themselves as a child spirit so that they can get in close to you, because people have they have an easier time dealing with a child spirit than they do a demon. Like if you thought that you had a 4-year-old girl haunting your house, or a malevolent giant dust cloud of shit, I'm pretty sure that you would want to help the little girl and you would run scared from the giant pile of shit. So they will tons of times when there are demonic possessions, or there's a lot of times they will have a little girl attached to it. They'll be like, oh yeah, I heard a little girl, and then all of these things. D. Martin, are you saying that I'm pretty but need some dental work? Because, fuck you. Seriously, right now? Anyway, that's like the only comment that I catch, of course. So, a lot to take in, because there's a lot to talk about and there's a lot to discuss. Because everybody has their own way. Like, there's a lot of people that think that the term demon is bullshit, which is totally fine. I just use it because it's the best way for me to differentiate between different classes. Okay? Since you're talking about demons, have you ever considered working with demons? No, I haven't. Because they said they're considered ancient gods, in all honesty. I haven't at all, because I don't know anything about them, and I would not even, no. I don't even work with ghosts or spirits, like, as in working with them in my practice. I don't, because I feel like you really need to know what the hell you're doing to call something in, because you don't know what you're calling in, and that can be scary. So before I move on, let me just kind of hold on in the comments for just one sec. I want to back up because I know I missed a ton, and I just want to see what you guys, if you guys think I'm nuts, if you think I'm, which is fine if you think I'm nuts, I totally understand. So, do you believe in working with spirits? I've heard in hoodoo that they will go to a graveyard and employ a ghost to manifest something mundanely. I don't. Personally, it's not anything that I would do, because I don't know, first of all, I don't know enough about it, and second of all, I don't want to employ a human spirit to go and do my dirty work. Like, that doesn't feel right to me. But there are some people that do that and that know what they're doing, and more power to them. It's just not anything that I would like to do. Do you feel ghosts are separate from the soul, and are the residue of the lower self reenacting or stuck in unresolved issues from their physical life? That is extremely interesting. But I do think that ghosts are your soul. I think that that is one and the same. When you pass, The energetic essence of yourself, whatever you'd like to call it, is what remains. Yeah, this Persephone kind of answered to Autumn. Poltergeists are commonly thought to be manifested forms of intense human energy. Yeah, poltergeists are human. Normally, well, they can be both. Poltergeists are just called poltergeists because of the activity. Like, poltergeist activity literally is that they're, and I'm terrible because I forgot that I think it's German, and I'm awful that I forgot what it was, but it's just describing the activity of movement, of moving objects. Now, a demon can do that, as can an intelligent spirit. Thank you. It means noisy spirit. Thank you, Persephone. I knew that Geist meant spirit, but I forgot polter. I think a lot of people are just chit-chatting with each other. Wait a minute. I have a good friend who worked with the Warrens for years before they both passed over. I didn't know that she was dead. I knew that he was dead, but I didn't know that Lorraine Warren was dead. Did she die recently? Also, in possession, why can a demon come in and out of consciousness? Is the person using their energy to block the demon from servicing and controlling them? I think that in possession, it takes a lot for a demon to come in and to share the same body as a human spirit. Like, it takes a lot. So they come through in bursts because that's all the energy that they have to do, and then they have to go back in and they have to revive themselves, and they have to re-energize to come back forth because they can't keep that up. Our human spirit has constant energetic contact and connection with our physical body. So we are here. The demon coming in has no connection to us. So they come in and they have to draw off of us, come forth in what they're doing, and then retreat and re-energize, is what I think. Well, is it Kajuniki? Maybe. I probably said that wrong. She said, I always thought demons were never alive nor human spirits. I did too. That's what I've written down. This is something that was kind of a new thing, because I have a really hard time with demons. I have a hard time with how demons are created and how they have intelligence and where that intelligence comes from. But then you have elementals, which were never human, and they have intelligence. So it's kind of still up there. Because I think that once it kind of overcomes or overtakes the person, then the human spirit is not alive. Like, it's not a human spirit anymore. It transforms into something completely way above and beyond everything. Kevin, somebody said I need some dental work. Isn't that nice? I did have dental work. Fuck off. These braces. I had them for like 3 years. I'm staying at Waverly Hills with some other witches. Should we do any precautions on the possibility that a spirit would attach to us? I recommend that you do. Kevin and I did. We carried a little talisman with us, and we just kind of put up some warding beforehand, just because it's a good idea. It's always a good idea before you go somewhere to do goodies. What causes the heavy feeling, in your opinion? If you walk into a place and you have that heavy feeling, a lot of times it's the energetic tension. So, for example, if you walk into a room of somebody that just had, two people that just had a huge fight and you can feel it, people are like, oh, you could cut the tension with a knife. That is that heavy
physical reaction to the energy.
Kevin, the physical reaction, your body's physical reaction to the energy being produced. So like Julie just said, low vibration equals icky energy. You have low vibrations, anger, sorrow, you know, those yick energy emotions, and you just fucking, they blow up, then you have that energy and it feels heavy because of its low vibrations. Oh, I kind of lost you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so, awesome. Thank you. No problem. And I know, I love you guys dearly, and thank you for being patient, because I know that there's a ton of comments, and I know that I'm probably missing some, so bear with me. Because these are huge. Like, we've already been talking for 50 minutes, and then we're just like, poof. So many people have awesome ghost stories. So many people. So I'll get through 2 more definitions, and then we will get into some more good shit. Like, I'll get into our ghost stories, or questions, or whatever you guys want to do. This video is probably going to be a little more sucky for people that have to watch it after, just because there's a lot of info. This might actually have to have a part 2, like, later. Hold on. I'm not sure who people are responding to. So if you're living in a house that's at multiple wavelengths of negative energy, and you don't cleanse it and place your energy in its place, your energy, part 1. Yes, people, yes, part 2 will probably be necessary. Yes, it will. You guys are awesome for responding to each other in the comments that I'm not able to get to. You guys are fucking awesome. So, we're moving on from demons, because demons are, there's a lot, and there's a lot of topics, and there's a lot of controversy, so we're moving on. We're moving on to guardians. Now, I did a video on guardians, and, sorry, this is just a comment that's is still absorbed by the negative energy, and with an intelligent entity attached as a conduit for the vortex that you can direct that energy it's absorbing from you back into possessing you. Is that right? I don't know, because that's a lot. So I'm not sure. You may have to rephrase, because I'm not sure. But while you're rephrasing, guardians, okay? So I'll read this, and then we will discuss. So a guardian is usually these protectors are found in areas where innocent people died of means other than foul play. They are not human. See, now this says they are not human. No, they are human. They were human at one point. And they protect the spirits residing in the area from outside sources. Paranormal investigators, homeowners, trespassers. They do not cause harm to the living, but they try to move them out of the space. Many times they will appear as a creature or an animal. Okay? So, a guardian is like Waverly. Waverly is... have you guys heard of the Creeper? Oh boy, Hank is like all upset. Look at all them caps. You go, Hank. So, have you guys heard of the Creeper at Waverly? It's basically like this hunched over, creepy ass, hence the Creeper. Well, it's called the Creeper because it creeps. It will like crawl. It's hunched over. It kind of looks like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. And it will crawl across the ceiling at you, like run at you. Yes, Kayla, I've definitely heard of the Creeper, the black masked creature that runs at you. So what this thing is, because if you notice, it never ever gets to a person. It will run at you, and if you stand your ground, it will disappear before it gets to you. So this is a guardian, and this is a human spirit that is trying to protect. So look at Waverly. It's a very, very sad, somber place. Like, you go there and you don't get negative feelings there. You don't get that things are trying to hurt you, or that there's demons, or that there's possessions. It was a place that was sad. It was a place of a lot of death, but it was also a place where people were trying to be healed. And I think that Waverly, because of all of the ghost shows, has kind of taken up as, like, you know, the world's most haunted place, and it has all of this negative shit, negative that, but it really doesn't. I have been there, and all that I felt was sad until Tim got upset. Then shit starts to go down. Now, Tim is the place's guardian. He has a lot of power. He has a lot of strength. He can make a lot of shit happen. And Tim and the Creeper, Kevin and I believe, are one and the same. Because basically what he does is he is trying, if somebody is overstepping their bounds, he either creates or morphs into the Creeper to try to scare people away from that place. So they don't want to hurt you, they just want to get you out as quickly as possible. But one of the big rules of Waverly is not to taunt. You're not allowed to taunt. You're not allowed to provoke. Because if you piss off Tim, then the building goes on what's called red alert, and you have to leave. Like, they normally can't go in the building for at least 3 days, because plaster falls off the wall, things get thrown at you. Like, he does what he can to get you out of the place safely, but then after that, it's all bets are off. Like, he is there to protect the women, the children, the men that died there from tuberculosis. And the ones that are there are either stuck because they died too young, or they don't want to move on because it's a place that they remember and it's a place that they loved, or they're there with their loved ones who have yet to move on. So he is there to protect them and to protect the place from the constant impedance of paranormal investigators with a lack of morals, with a lack of respect for the place. Because he is he will come in contact with you. I mean, we've had EVPs from him. You know, he played our games. You know, we were all sitting there and we were waiting for him to, you know, we had a flashlight and he was turning it on and off, and we were all like, oh my god, this is so fucking awesome. Like, we were all freaking out. And then he, as in our tour guide that knows Tim very well, was trying to get him to do something else, because people just wanted the reaction. And Tim started getting pissed. And I knew he was getting pissed because I all of a sudden got sick and I had goosebumps and I was like, Kevin, something's not right. Like, this is not good. And I was freaking out. And we heard this growl, this low growl. All the lights went out and we heard another growl and everybody got up and ran. And he did what he was supposed to do. And the rest of the night was really tough as far as staying in the building, because the building started getting more high intensity, because he's like, okay, I'm not playing your shit anymore, I'm not playing your games anymore, I don't need to prove that I exist. Like, you start getting annoyed, they're like, no, you need to get out, you need to leave these people alone, you need to leave these, like, yeah. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. So many peoples. Okay, here's the yups and yes from the creepers. Oh, Sparks and Litning. Hank, calm your tits, boyo. I love you. Heard of the creeper. Definitely heard of the creeper. Never heard of the creeper. You should look it up. It's really interesting, actually. Didn't it loosely inspire the creeper from Scooby-Doo? I don't know, but that would be really cool if it did. Was it not because it was a TB hospital which also ran experiments? Now, the thing is Waverly Hospital, the doctors did do experiments, but they weren't cruel. Let me take that back. The experiments.
Experimental treatment, not like.
Yes, they were. It was
scientific.
experimental treatments. It wasn't like scientific, like science experiments. So, it wasn't done to intentionally harm anyone. It was done to try their hardest to find a cure for TB.
Well, it was on patients. It was like a last resort.
It was a last resort on the patients. So they did like they would remove lungs, they would remove like
Ribs.
they would remove ribs, thinking that maybe if they removed ribs, the lungs could expand more. Like, they were trying to help. It wasn't done to torture. So there's a big difference between people dying because of being tortured and people dying because they were trying to be healed. So the energy's totally different. If you're a witch, why couldn't you cast a spell to remove that mustache? A concerned Christian mom. Aww, I tell you what, people are adorable. I am, like, getting wrecked today. My mom went through the body chute and said you could literally feel the electricity on you. Oh yeah, you can. The body tunnel, or the body chute, is pretty cray. Holy cow. Alright, here we go. Pyperh! Talk of the creeper. Oh, okay. How could a person procure a guardian? A person like you and me, we don't procure guardians. They, in the spirit realm, step up to become a guardian. Like, a lot of times they were people that guarded that place or that had a very, very close tie to the place. And when something happens that's tragic and you have a lot of people that pass, somebody that was a guardian type role in life will become a guardian in death. So I'm a little confused. Tim is the name of the creeper. What? Okay, so like 99% of what you will read and what you will put out, what you will hear, is about the creeper. Anything on TV, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, Ghosts, they will all talk to you about the creeper. because that is like the big scary thing about the creeper. But when you go to Waverly, they talk to you, they explain the creeper, but they also talk to you about Tim and what Tim is to the place, and how he's the top dog. Like, Tim is who you will run into, and if you start messing with the spirits, if you start messing with the place, Tim is who you have to deal with. And so Kevin and I, came up with the observation that Tim is playing a guardian role, and that we think that Tim is also the creeper because of what the creeper is. That is what we think. But Tim is playing a guardian role, as is the creeper. Yes, Tim is a spirit. Tim is like top-notch dog there, and the creeper is the golem creature that crawls at you on the 3rd floor. But I think that the creeper is conjured up or created or part of Tim as part of his guardian role. Oh, I see. I feel any haunted place should be given respect. Yes, Katie. Yes, they should. I don't know how to block people, or I would, guys. I really don't know how. And I know that I'm supposed to, like, I literally click on the button and all it says is go to the channel. So I don't know how. I'm sorry. How did you get into paranormal investigation? Actually, my being interested in the paranormal for so long, we just kind of bought equipment, and we got together with a group that's here in Michigan, and went to a couple places and did a couple things, and kind of got into it that way. It's more of a hobby. It's not like professional paranormal investigating. See, now, people ask about their own guardian spirits, and I think that a guardian is different from, like, your spirit guide. Two totally different things. Hi, Random Witch. This chat is wonderful, and wonderful people. Oh, you're all wonderful. I feel like I'm just like... I feel like I'm not I feel like I'm just like jumbled information, and that you guys aren't actually getting anything. Like, that's how I feel, is that I've told you about like 4 things, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like
it's a difficult video.
It is a difficult video. Kevin just said, he's like, it's a difficult video. It is. It's really difficult, because if I could just sit here and be like, and get stuff out there, but it's hard because you want to also listen to what other people are saying, because that's the whole point of the live chat, is you want people to be able to write in and ask questions and read off their experiences, because people like this chat. So they couldn't, so that they can get their voices heard. Like, that's the whole point of these chats, is not to listen to my dumbass talk, is to have a conversation. But this topic is big, and it's almost too big. And so I don't really know what to do, because I think I'm going to have a lot of pissed off people at me, but I think I almost have to, like, shut it down after the last... I have like one more thing to talk about, and then I think we're gonna have to shut it down, and we're gonna have to do like paranormal experiences on a whole different video. I think we're gonna have to, because we're already an hour and 15 minutes in, and I think we may have to know whether we want to do that on the next one or we want to wait a little while. We'll vote at the end, but we just may have to do that. And you guys are so awesome. Unless we want to take a break from this topic, because I know it's hard. This chat is wonderful. Thank you. I think my question might not have been seen. I was just wondering how Pyperh thinks people with intuitive abilities should handle themselves in a haunted location. And I did miss your comment. I actually have missed a lot of comments because they're scrolling so fast that I can't really... So, a sensitive person, so like myself, I don't want to say like I'm sensitive, but I am sensitive to spiritual energy. It makes me sick sometimes. I can feel it. You get the goosebumps. You get the pit in your stomach. Waverly was one of those places. Now, sometimes you can walk into a haunted location and you're fine. Other times it makes you nauseated, and a lot of times that, or it reacts to your body. Your physical body is reacting to them. And a lot of times that's either them trying to come in contact with you. So in that sense, you really want to be cautious, because you don't want a spirit to attach themselves to you. And they can draw a lot out of yourself. They can draw a lot of your energy with you just being open in general. And you don't want that, because that can make you sick. So, like Random Witch said, putting up a shield is huge before you go into a haunted location. And actually, I think Flora has some really good videos up on shielding. Hell, that could be a topic on its own. But look up shielding and putting up a shield, because that will be huge. Carrying protective stones with you, like black tourmaline, like obsidian, is an awesome idea. Carrying sea salt, actually, is a great idea. And making sure that you smudge yourself or cleanse yourself before and after you leave the location. So, okay. And a lot of people agree with me about part 2. So, last definition that I have, okay, last one, is elementals. So we've had spirits and demons and guardians. The last one is elementals. So an elemental is an ancient entity formed from the energy of the earth itself. These beings usually protect sacred land or places. They do not need to sustain themselves with human energy, because they are formed from the earth, so they have a constant connection to that energy source, and are not malicious unless provoked. They are neutral. They're not good nor evil. They're just earthly. They're very rare and very powerful, and these entities were never human or alive. So elementals, we don't have a ton of information on. I don't have a ton of information on. But I do know that elementals exist. I know that, like I said, they're ancient. They are an ancient source, an ancient energetic source that was created by the earth, by earth energies, whether it's by ley lines, whether it's by whatever. They were created, and they are conscious, like they are an intelligent being to protect so they're very guardian-esque, but they're there to protect usually a sacred site or a sacred place, as opposed to a group of people. And they they don't go out of their way to come in contact with people at all. But they can. You know, they have that because of their ancient prowess and how they have that power. They can be extremely malicious if they need to be. So if they are pushed upon, you know, if somebody is coming into their territory and they have malicious intent, the person coming into their space. So they actually had a Ghost Adventures episode. I know there's a lot of people that don't like Ghost Adventures, but I do. But they did have an episode where they were they in Ireland
So,
or
yeah.
Scotland?
Ireland, I think.
And they were going to an old castle. God, I can't remember where exactly they were going, but they had heard of an ancient, they kept calling it a demon. But this thing, like, fucked them up. And all they kept saying was how it just felt old. It felt ancient. It felt like something they'd never been to. And then they were coming in contact with an elemental that was there to protect the place, to protect the land. And they were coming in with their cameras, and they were taunting it, Zach. And that's what happened, is it got them out of there very quickly. Sorry. I'm not going to scroll back up because I know that a ton of the comments are people arguing with the trolls. So if you said anything in the past, like while I was while I was talking about elementals, I probably won't read it. Because I don't want to scroll through all the comments of people. Ha, love the tone on Zach. I'm like, really, you guys? When I watch that. Smudging after the trolls tonight. Fuck yeah, everybody needs to smudge after the trolls. Are they spirits or physical apparatuses? You're not going to get an EVP from them. You're not going to get, like, they're not human energy. So they have intelligence basically because they have the intelligence of what they were set there to do. You know, they're not just like, I don't really feel like hanging out here. I'm going to go see what's going on down at this place. Or I'm going to go... No, they are created by the earth. They are earthly energies created for a specific purpose. So if they were created to guard Stonehenge, then that is what that is there to do. So if you go up there and you start fucking with the place, then their reaction is to react, is to get you out. You know, they are more there to feed off of your energy. So if you walk into a place with respect, with love, with good intentions, then they're just whatever. But if you walk in with ill intent, that's immediately, that energy is what they pick up on. You know, and so that's when they will come at you to get you out of there. They're not doing it to purposely hurt you because you're a human. They're doing it because they pick up a disturbance in their energetic field with your low vibrations that you're bringing into the place. And they just need to get you out. So when I say they are intelligent, it's not a human intelligence. It's an ancient, earthly, I have a job to do, and this is what I was programmed to do, intelligence, if that makes sense. So, who is your favorite paranormal investigator? I have a hard time with that because while I love my ghost adventures, I love them dearly. I almost feel like they're kind of getting on the demon dark side kick lately, and I think that Zach is becoming a lot more sensitive with what he's been doing, but I really want to, like, he's just getting a little harder to listen to, I guess. I love Aaron. Like, Aaron Goodwin is, like, one of my faves. I really, really loved Jason and, well, that's gone. I keep thinking it. Jason and, help me, from Ghost Hunters. Help me out here. Anyway, I keep thinking it's Nick, but Nick's off doing his other goodies. But I loved them because they were, Grant, thank you, Jason and Grant, they were very down-to-earth dudes. And they were fantastic. Like, the show wasn't always as upbeat as Ghost Adventures was, but I think it's because Ghost Adventures is dealing with some more fucked up shit, and these guys were just, they weren't going after the dark stuff, whereas Ghost Adventures is, so I think that they're getting a lot more stuff. And then, one of my new favorite shows is actually Paranormal Lockdown with Nick and Katrina. And Katrina is, like, my jam. She is my girl. She is very respectful, very down to earth, and I really enjoy watching her. So, do you have any recommended readings about elementals? I don't, actually. I don't, because it's kind of been my own, me and Kevin's own research. But I don't really have any books. So if I end up coming across any, I'd love to give them to you. Or let you know. Okay. People. So. I love Ghost Adventures, but Zach is extremely arrogant and he thinks by saying a couple words he can clear a demon-ridden house. That's the only thing I don't like. For some reason I feel like Zach's gonna, like, come on here and watch this. It's like, no, he's not. But I do agree. I have a really hard time with, and we don't get to see all the episodes, so I don't know what actually goes on during the other, like, 27 hours that we don't even see on TV. But I do have a hard time because I feel like from what TV portrays, he goes in, promises he's going to get rid of this entity, goes in, taunts the thing, catches a bunch of stuff, shows the homeowner, which scares the homeowner more, does, like, a little ritual to try to get rid of it, which doesn't ever get rid of it, and then they leave. So I do have a hard time with that. But yeah. Wow, where did all these people come from today? Like, damn. Thank you so much for dealing with this to share with us, Piper. You're welcome, random witch. Anything to, because I just love you guys. You should see some of the stuff that some of these people are posting. They're like, apparently I'm supposed to die, and I need to have,
like, witch hunters, or are they like,
I don't know. Kevin said they were witch
don't
hunters.
like what you're saying.
No, they're just trolls in general. They're just people that are like, oh, let's see what live chat I can go fuck with. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how to. Let me see if I can do it this way. Oh, right here. Block. Did it work? Did it work? I can do it on my phone. I can't do it on the computer, but I can do it on my phone. Message deleted. Boom! So as they come up, I can block them. Oh yeah, Hank, you're going bye-bye, sir. Bye. Oh my god, guys, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't know. I tried blocking them on my computer because I have both. I'm reading the comments on my computer and I have you guys up here. But I didn't know I could block them from my phone. So now we know. Okay? And they're gone. So Hank's gone and that other person's gone. Ooh, you need some blue ratchets to deal with the trolls while you're talking. I know. I'm sorry. Holy shit. Oh my god, these bitches be tripping. Ooh. Like, Kevin, I didn't even go back up and read the comments because I probably missed so many good questions and comments, and I'm sorry, but there were so many trolly comments, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to keep reading that I should die in hell and that I have a tooth problem. I already know, okay? I already had braces once. Okay. So, we are on the 90-minute mark. And I know that this video was very jumbled. It was a very jumbled video, and I think that I knew it was going to be. So, I'm just kidding, guys. The troll, I know. They're actually kind of funny. But it was more annoying because I knew that they were just, like, coming and nobody could get their themselves heard because they were just, like, spam, spam, spam. And it took me 90 minutes, but now I got rid of them as the video's over. So, we talked about a few things. Please don't hate me, and please come back for another Witchy Rant or Witchy Wisdom video that will not be as hellaciously all over the place as this one was. I think I feel like I got a lot of information out, but I also feel like I almost treated this more as a video as opposed to a conversation, because this is a really hard thing to have a conversation about. So, we'll go to something else. We'll go to something else. We'll do a part 2 of this, but the part 2 will be fun, okay? The part 2 will be fun. We'll do a part 2, which is paranormal experiences, and we will go back and forth, and we'll talk about different things that have happened, different things we've seen, and we'll, like, stay off of the facts, the informational stuff. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I have another person to... Okay. So. Wait, Kelly has a great idea. What was Kelly's idea? Why didn't I see it? Kelly, I posted a comment earlier. You should get people to message their ghost stories, and you can have a ghost story night around Samhain. Girl! That's a really good idea. What do you guys think? That wasn't jumbled at all. You did a great job and had a great group with great comments. I know. You guys were great. And I mean, like Kevin said, I hold this space for people that are here for the live chat, and I understand that when I post it later, people don't get to see the comments, but I really, really wish that they could see the comments, because you guys, I was like reading them as I was jumbling on, and you guys had some really awesome conversations, and so I feel bad that some people don't get to see all that. They just get to listen to me ramble for an hour and a half. So our part 2 of the ghostly video we will do around Samhain, because actually maybe we'll even make the video that month on... No, we can't do it on Samhain. I have my little girl and I gotta take her trick-or-treating, but it'll be on the 27th of that month. So that video we'll do a paranormal video. So we'll do like some ghost stories, we'll do more stuff. We'll take a break on the ghost subject because it was a lot. And we'll go back to more witchy stuff. So thank you, Kelly, for the awesome idea. That's fucking great. We love you. You're our witchy mama. You guys are so sweet. So you don't hate me for this video? Because I really feel... I like literally beat myself up over these videos because I did get done and I'm like, I feel like I didn't really get to do anything, or I didn't get to have enough conversation, and I skipped people's comments, and okay, so you good over there? You sure? You look like you're gonna pass out. So yeah, Kelly's idea is awesome. So this is hey, I'm buffering. Am I buffering for everyone else? Okay, no, I'm not. I was gonna say I was buffering. Okay. Now comes the time where we get to choose the topic for next week's video. Not next week, in 2 weeks. The 27th is our next Witchy Wisdom. So, you guys throw some ideas out there. I'll look them up. Don't beat yourself up about it. We love you. It was still a great chat, even though there were dumbass trolls. Thank you. So you guys throw some ideas out there. Let me know what you want to hear. Let me know what you want to discuss. And then we'll go from there. I'll pick a couple and we'll vote. So we've got the upcoming Sabbath and Llamas, essential oils, crystals, altars, the tarot, intuitive development.
I feel like, didn't you say something in the last one about doing spirits and ghosts, and the next one was going to be the Sabbath?
I think I did, didn't I? Did I say, Kevin just reminded me, did I say that we were going to do ghosts and spirits, and then the next one we were going to do was going to be the Sabbath? Because the Sabbaths, you've got July 27th, and then Llamas is August 1st. I think I did say that, didn't I? What do you guys think? Do you guys wanna, it's up to you guys. Because I have a lot of people for crystals, and I have a lot of people for the Sabbath. So, you guys choose. Do you want to discuss the upcoming Sabbath? Or do you want to go with Sabbath? Okay, I think people are excited to get back into the witchy mojo. And the Sabbath one will be fun, because the Sabbath we can talk about what the Sabbath's all about, the history and lore. We can talk about crafts for the Sabbath. We can talk about incense. We can talk about, like, there's just like so many things that we can go over. People are already bartering with me. Can we do the Sabbath then crystals for the next one? Do you listen to death metal? I listen to, I would have to say rock. I don't like this, and heavy metal. I don't like screamos. Sabbath. I love the informational witchy wisdoms. Yay, Kevin, LOL, May trolls. If everyone can astral project, we should have a huge party on the astral plane. Yes, with lots of alcohol. Well, I'm just kidding. I don't really drink a ton of alcohol. I'm kind of lame. Ooh, Sabbath crafts. Everyone does videos on the Sabbaths every single year. I know they do, but I am only here to give people what they want. Because if I were to say, you can go ahead, you can vote, and the majority of the people said Sabbath, and I was like, just kidding, I don't want to talk about the Sabbath, we're going to do crystals, then I think people would be mad at me. And so, if there's a ton of videos out there that would like to, or that there's a ton of videos on the subject, but people still want to talk about it, it's fun because we can have interactions and we can see what different people do for the Sabbath, and we can get different ideas from a ton of different people all in the same place. I like videos on Sabbaths. It's always nice to get new ideas on how to celebrate. It is. So, next video will be July 27th. July 27th. What day is that on? Oh, it's exactly 2 weeks from now. So it's Thursday. So Thursday, July 27th at 8 p.m. Everybody come hang out with me here. We will be troll free because I know how to block me some trolls now. It just took me 3 videos. So like 7.5 hours worth of shit. But it'll be fun. Oh! I didn't think about that. Baiting Ember, it'll be interesting, but I'm heading into Imbolc. I never thought about... every time I post a happy holiday thing, I always have both holidays. So we may have to do a double holiday video. Yes, Alice, talking about Lunasa or llamas, however you wanna. We may have to do it half and half. We may have to do the first half on one and the second, because people watch from all over, so I can't just be like, hey, I'm not going to talk about in bulk because fuck off, I'm not celebrating in bulk here. And you know, it'll, because they're all on opposite pegs, they're on opposite spokes of the wheel, normally those holidays really intertwine with each other. So, you know, you have Beltane and Samhain, which are both, you know, festivals of light, of fire is what I meant. They're not light in bulk as a festival of light, but they're both like those fiery. So yeah, so we'll do half and half. Because that's not fair. If you guys are tuning in and you're like, well, fuck off. So we'll do halfsies. We'll just have to see what we want to do. We'll have to see, because a 2-hour video is a long time, but we're almost coming up on 2 hours right now. We're coming up on like, but it's a Thursday and it's during the week. We'll just have to see as we get closer. But yeah, we'll do half and half. So the next one will be Lunasa and in bulk. Half and halfsies. Okay? Sound good? Alright. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, for listening to my rambles, for dealing with the stupid ass trolls that I didn't realize I could block until just now. I will see you all very soon, because of course I'll be seeing you before the 2 weeks, but definitely I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm gonna go and take care of my husband, because for some reason he looks like he may pass out. Look at him over there. Look at him being all nice and just kind of sitting there waiting, just waiting all cutesy for me to get done. We've been going from this concert, so we gotta just chill. Yeah, there is, Alice. There's a ton. That's why I'm having a hard time, because there is a ton to cover with 2 Sabbats. A ton. Like, literally an entire video could be dedicated, and would be dedicated to just one Sabbat. So I kind of have to think about how I want to do this. I just have to think about it. It's Heather, a double night? Yeah, I actually had thought about it. So we'll see. I'll think about it. I'll think it over. I'll see what works best, because I don't want to short anybody either. But I can't go super long knowing that I work and I have to get up at 6 a.m. the next day. So I'll think it over. I've got 2 weeks, and I will let you guys know what I come up with. So I love you guys. Metallica was awesome. To Micah. Metallica was fantastic. They were badass. But yes, so I will see you on the other side of whatever, I guess. They said hi to you.
No.
So I will see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out and being awesome.